Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account and we're going to be checking out a pretty unique guide when it comes to the Stargazer. Now overall guys, a lot of players really hate the Stargazer, Scam Gazer, whatever you want to call it, but the rates are what they are. You can see right here guys, to get a hero it is 2%. It is always at 2%. Now over the last 4 years, going on 5 years, the priority within the Stargazer has changed, which is again, the guide that we're going to look at today. So let's hop over, take a look at it. I'm going to break it down a little bit with my thoughts. And let's go ahead and look at it. All right, guys, so here it is, Stargazer Hero Usage by AFK MP. So it is a unique way to look at the Stargazer based on modes, and this is where it does kind of change. Because if you look in here, I believe they're really basing it on the Cursed Realm, Nightmare Corridor, and the Treasure Scramble. This is where AFK Arena kind of divides through the new game modes that we've kind of had with time, because as you can see, some of these heroes effective within the campaign formations. A lot of players don't run them in the campaign formations. Also, a lot of them do have a lot of utility when it comes to the towers. But again, it seems like the hero usage pretty much is based on the heroes that we're building here from AFK MP. Again, big shout out to them. Now, looking at the high probability, you can see right here, guys, with Demia, Cursed Realm, Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble, 100% absolutely used. And this is only looking at the Stargazer heroes. So used in all game modes above 95%. We do use her in the campaign. We use her in the towers. We use her in every single game mode, even using her in off game modes, such as the Spire that we've seen right now. A lot of players are running her even within the Temple Rift. Very, very high utility, which is the reason why Demia actually comes in as one of the #1 support heroes within AFK Arena. Sometimes sub DPS in the Treasure Scramble. She does an incredible amount of damage. They even buffed her, guys, to make her stronger, which of course is followed in close second, if not even role reversal with both of them, is you have Liberta. Now, he is the absolute broken hero out of the twins that we see, again, used in all game modes above 90%. If you haven't built, same with Demia, same with Liberta. If you have the hero built, you are going to use it probably in 100% of game modes, mainly DPS, best in slot in the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor in the formations that they're prevalent. But when you look at a #1 carry within the Celestial Tower, absolutely, guys, kind of crazy. And also running him within the campaign formations works incredibly well, not only in the damage aspect, but as in the support aspect. Now, looking at Vathiel, Vathiel is one I do see a lot of utility in. Again, it seems like Cursed Realm is kind of dropping out. Nightmare Corridor, Treasure Scramble, absolutely, which they kind of notate right here. Even some DPS, sometimes used as main DPS in the Nightmare Corridor. And again, it seems like he's at a place where if you're building him for game modes, if you can murk him, that's going to work incredibly well. But looking at Demia, looking at Liberta, they're the ones that I would absolutely 100% build first before we got into building the Chad over here. Now, looking at the mid to high, this is kind of this mid-range. So looking at Lucilla, looking at Kanisa and Rook, and looking at Halos. So unfortunately, as you can see, guys, remember, Halos used to dominate when it came to every single formation with the buffing aspect that we've seen. Now he is slowly falling down formations as we get our Liberta in there, as we get Demia in there, as we get, Lucilla in there. A lot of heroes have slowly kind of power creeped and kind of replaced some of these heroes. Now, of course, Liberta, Cursed Realm, seeing a little less utility in there, but you can see about a 60% usage. Also usually used with Liberta because, of course, she does give the resurrect ability in there. Now, Kanisa and Rook still provide an incredible amount of crowd control, energy disintegration, subs, DPS, as you can see in the Cursed Realm and the Treasure Scramble. Seeing not as much use as Nightmare Corridor. And again, some of these heroes we're starting to see slowly falling down the tier list, also slowly being replaced in a bunch of different game modes, which is what you're kind of seeing here. But again, we're focusing on the Celestials and the Hypogens, and we're focusing on the Stargazer only. Now, mid to high, we still have the Twins and Mortis, guys. The Twins and Mortis are absolutely crushing it in the Cursed Realm and the Nightmare Corridor. Within the Treasure Scramble, not used at all. I don't even think at this point of AFK Arena that I have the Twins in any game mode. Or excuse me, in the Treasure Scramble, we have them in every other game mode, but they have no utility. They die way too fast when it comes to the Treasure Scramble. Now, same with Mortis, guys. I don't think I use Mortis, short of possibly going into the Hypogen formation with Matria. But overall, guys, again, not seeing a lot of use. I feel like when we get 1 or 2 more heroes down the road, he's probably going to be replaced depending on who they are damage wise. Now you can see they can be bought via the store. That is really the big thing to notate, guys. When you look at the different facets and the different functions of the store, they are an absolute priority that you want to build. When it comes to the store, they are the heroes again that you want to build before anyone else. Now, of course, Mortis needs the plus 20 signature item to actually be effective. Twins can be used at Elite, but better at Mythic. So what you're actually going to find with the Twins is a majority of game modes, if you don't have them built a little bit higher, they're not going to have the survivability. They're actually going to die out very fast in different game modes, which is the reason why building them up, getting them probably a plus 20 signature item will do. It makes a big difference with the survivability that we do see with the Twins. Now, looking at our mid heroes, these ones are slowly kind of going down. You can see the Nightmare Corridor not at all for Ulna, but this is where you're starting to get some of the subs or some of the alternate heroes in here, or even getting some of the niche heroes in here. And some of them do require other heroes to be built. Now, of course, Ulna in the Treasure Scramble, also tower campaign formations, 100% used everywhere. Even when you get into the Twisted Realm or the Temporal Rift, you start seeing a lot more utility when it comes to Ulna. Now, of course, right here, guys, with Olgath, again, starting to see a little bit of a less utility in there. Treasure Scramble, it is only if you have Matrio really built out. Same with Frampton, we're still seeing him a little bit built out with and falling out of formations here. But again, the treasure scramble works incredibly well. Usually with the 5 hypo teams, what they note right here is running Matria. Same with Aziz, guys, kind of a niche with the original. And then same with Zorath. Doesn't seem like these heroes are going to be holding on much longer. There's going to be a point where they're going to really be replaced. Again, they're kind of filling in a couple niche formations. If you're not running the 5 hypo teams, probably not even worth building at this point. And then, of course, the low priority rate here, guys. The Cursed Realm, the Nightmare Corridor Treasure Scramble, used about 40%. Now, again, this is a niche formation running with Orthos, because when Orthos ults, the original version of Tailene can still move. Again, really seeing a little bit of play. And then in here, guys, with the extension for the duration within the Curse Realm is really all that we're using Khazard with that plus 30 signature item. Flora kind of here for the stall comp. It works pretty well. And also the faction sub, as you can see right here. And then Tarnos, unfortunately, a hero that I never did build at all. But you can see very minimal use in the Treasure Scramble. I feel like, again, within the next couple modes, you're probably not going to see much utility. And then very low, you can see right here, guys, we do have Orthos and we do have Lucretia. Now, overall usage in all game modes is 11%. Now, when it comes to specific game modes, really 2 places that Lucretia is really being utilized. One being campaign formations, does have, again, a little bit of utility. That's probably the 11% that we're seeing. And also when you get to two tower formations or 2 campaign formations, she's really the driving force. When you look at the hypo tower, Lucretia is the second team and still continues to be the second team, versus having to build, 2, 3, 4, 5 hypo heroes. She can actually do it by herself, even running level 1 hypos when you come to the tower. And again, campaign formations, she is still being utilized. Now look at the legend. You can see, guys, the green is really who you want to focus on. Big shout out to AFK Arena Crowdsource, AFK Analytica, AFK MP, and of course, Zero GT, guys. Check out his YouTube channel. But overall, when you think of the heroes, and this is kind of the big picture view that you have to have with this, is you're looking at 1, 2, 3, really 4, 5, or even 4, 5, 6, 7. These heroes you don't have to really build out too high. But that is 7 Celestials and Hypogens, guys. When it comes to the Stargazer, when it comes to the sheer amount of diamonds and Stargazer scrolls to build these out, you're really going to find that the heroes, when you start getting to mid tier, when you start getting to low tier, very low tier, you're probably not going to be at a point, especially if you are newer to AFK Arena, that I would really recommend building them out at all, just for the simple fact that as we continue to get new heroes, they'll fall down to less utility or fall down to less tier, especially with having to use diamonds and having to use those Stargazer scrolls for our awakened heroes to add our stars on there to get the engraving. Again, the sheer cost in the return, this is the focus, guys, and the tier lists have kind of changed for the most part. I've been working on the new updated tier list, which will be coming out soon, guys. But that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the hero usage. And as always, thank you guys for watching.